East Chattanooga Lumber. It's Andrew speaking.
Hey, Andrew, it's Tony. How you doing?
I'm good, Tony. What are you getting into, sir?
Oh, I'm trying to do a little quickie estimate here for a small job, but I thought I'll just, if it's okay, if I just get the prices over the phone so I don't have to send you a list or whatever.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I'm looking at, let's see, 2x6 is 16 pressure treated.
Let me get that screen pulled up 1 second for me, Tony.
I thought y'all had voice command now, just like.
It would be nice.
They hear us over the phone and it comes up on the screen.
That's coming next. Over with brother. All right.
I just got a new laptop and the little Cortana girl came up and I was like, oh boy, I gotta go through this before I get going. But,
all right, so 2x6, 16 treated, 1273.
Okay, then 2x10s by 16.
Still fine?
Yeah, that's fine. There'll be 4 joists. Yeah.
Okay. 1360.
And the Evantech.
3082.
And then just 2 to 4 19.5/8 studs.
92s or 340.
340. And the 2x6 studs, 19.5/8.
I don't start at 2x6 in 92. I've got a 104, but I don't keep up to 92.
That was going to be my next question.
It's in 104s, they're 603.
603. And then just 2x6 is 16. That must be spruce, I guess. Yeah, those are my plates.
Plates, yep. 1165.
And 2x10, 16. Just what do we use? I forget what do we use. What is number 2 for headers? Is that yellow?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is. 2x10, 16 is 1360.
And then OSB 7/16.
1210.
And 9-foot rolls of tie deck.
149.95.
I thought that was 150. 149.95. And is that a 100-foot roll or 150-foot roll?
That's 100.
Okay. I need to put that in my one up here. 100 feet. And then 2x8s. Let me see how long these things are. Okay, that should get me going.
Okay. Very good.
All right, thank you. All right, see you. Bye. Now, some of these prices may be lower because I'm a contractor and Andrew knows me. That's one of my sales people at my local lumber company that I deal with. But if you check these, some of these may be a little lower, some may be a little higher than what you would see at Home Depot, but we'll check that here in a second. Because I don't want people calling me a cheater. I show them how much cheaper it is just to build yourself a place. So these are the long rafters. What I'm doing is I was trying to do this all before I came online, but I wanted you to hear their salesmen say the prices because I'm getting all kinds of crazy comments just because I'm trying to help people do something that's better and cheaper. It's amazing. No good deed goes unpunished. And this is what I'm working on. You might have seen when I was trying to measure. I went ahead and put windows and siding and a roof and a porch, and my construction line is acting weird out there. And so what I was going to do is this is the part 2 of the previous video where I'm saying that container homes don't make any sense, CENTS, because they're narrow and they're not wide enough to live in. But here's an alternative. What I was going to do is just go through this whole process of showing you. We're going to count all the joists everything that has to be done to simulate a container. But my building is 12 feet wide. The 12 feet is a very efficient model for room sizes. Bedrooms are 12 feet minimum. That's my minimum as a bedroom. Living areas can be 12 feet. It's 3 sheets of Advantech perfectly. You buy your joist will span 12 feet. Your 2x10s, that's 16 inches on the center. That's the most common joist in the world. All this stuff is really common, and you get a bigger space. You get at least 4 more feet width. Really, you get more than 4 more feet width, because if you had to come in here and frame inside these walls, which is what you would have to do because you have insulation requirements, you can't just paint the inside of a container and move into it. You'll have to fur out the walls, framing, insulation, all that. So the point of this video is to show you how that can be done without a container and save money. Okay, so let's just get started. Don't you hate it when people say, let's just jump right into it? It's got to be so old. It's just, I go out of my way. I never have really been tempted to say, let's jump into it. I just think it's annoying. But anyway, let's just count joist. Let's do that. Let's get this to where we can see, and y'all can count it with me. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 to that. Let me move this over. 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. I know the ends are doubled. So, I've got my Google Sheet here. Let me move this down. So 2x10s, 12. You know what I did? I said there were 16 foot. These are only, those are band. This should be floor joists. This should be the 4 band. This should be header joists. Well, I'm trying to figure out what to call it, because it's like a header joist, which also serves as a beam. I'm just going to call it that. And then what I need to do is insert. I'll have to call him back now. Paste. I'm on Google Sheets here. I'm trying to do this. I want to call him back. While we're changing this to 12 feet.
You still do lumber? It's Andrew's feet.
I'm sorry, Andrew. I meant to ask you what 2x10's 12 were.
Sure.
I asked you
Yellow
what.
pine on those.
I'm sorry.
Yellow pine is 1048.
1048. All right. Thank you.
Bye. Thanks, Tony.
Okay, there we go. So I'm going to say we have 34 of those. Okay. Let me see if I got my. Yeah, I got my. Why is that? What's that? That's 10. I thought I set this whole thing up on 14. 14. There we go. I'm trying to do this big enough to where y'all can see it. Okay. So now let's do the mud seal right quick to get that out of the way. So these containers are on 16 or 8-foot centers. So I know a 16. I've already measured it. 16 feet will go from here to the center. Okay. So what I know is that I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3 goes back and back to there. 4, 5. I'll have 5 16 footers for each side. Okay, so that's 10. All right, so this is what I do. I always add an extra one just in case we have a bad one. Now, if I was bidding this job, I would probably, I'd add a percentage of waste materials to this, but we're going to try to keep this close because I want you to see what the actual figures are. So 2x10s, let's see, header joists. This goes here. No, that goes here. 11. Trying to do too many things at once. The 2x10 16 were the header joists. That's this band, this outer. It acts kind of like a beam. It's a double 2x10, and it acts like a beam carrying these floor joists, which have joist hangers and all. So the number of joists you have will be the number of joist hangers you have. So if you came in here and just said the joist hangers, I know they're about, I can type, got my new laptop, I'm getting used to the keyboard. That's my excuse. I think they're like $2.50 a piece. Okay, so we know we're going to have 68 of them. Okay, so that was easy enough. $170 worth of joist hangers, can't leave those out. Trying to be fair. Okay, so let's see, that gets our joists, our header joist, our joist hangers, our mud seal. What I would like to do, and I'm kind of penalizing myself on the cost because this is just going to be more material. But what I would like to do is put down a plate, and we would do this on top of a foundation. We would lay a plate, like if I had, where's my foundation? I actually have a concrete foundation drawn for this. See, like if I was going to build this for myself, I'd pour myself some concrete walls. And then what you would have on top of that would be your, you see there's the anchor bolts for the concrete wall right there. They go every 4 feet. But I'm trying to show that this could be done affordably, so I just turned that off and did these sonotubes. Oh, and somebody had a question about sonotubes also. What they were. It's actually one word. I was in a habit of typing, let's see, images. The sonotubes are basically just these cardboard tubes is really all they are. And you buy them in different lengths like 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 22, 24. And here's a good picture. And what you do is you stick them, let them stick up out of the ground to level off your house, but you just pour them, but you'd have reinforcing in there, and I'll show you kind of what the reinforcing would look like. I'll do a little section here. Okay. Oh, that's right. I've got them as a. Let's see here. Let's just delete. Let's see. Let's just delete this outer part. And what I'll do is I'll just undo that. But you see, you'd have a cage in there of rebar, and it doesn't have to be round. This particular extension I use shows it as round, but the most common way to do it would be a square because it's easier to form. But this is graphically showing it as a circular, but you would most likely see it as because you'd be bending this rebar on your job. You wouldn't be able to form a perfect circle like that. But let me undo my deletion of my. Okay, so but the point is I would want to do this plate anyway. I like it because what it will do is did I make it part of the? No, I didn't. Good. What it will do is it'll make it easier on you building this thing. If you put your plate down first, and you get it nice and flat and straight. Okay. Then, and say you're working by yourself. Okay. You can actually, we'd have to use a different type of joist hanger, but what you could actually just lay your joist up on one end and nail them, nail them on the other, and then come back and nail it. It'd be like working off of a little platform for you. And so it would also give this whole thing an extra strength. You wouldn't have to have that. It would just be a convenience. If you had somebody helping you, you would just start off with. But the other thing you could do too is you could put your anchor bolt in your sonotube. You could use a wider plate, and then you could have it so that your anchor bolt comes up through that plate. So this is not drawn perfectly. It's just got all the stuff you would need. It's just not. I haven't perfected the drawing yet. I'm just now working on it. So give me a break. Just kidding. So those would be like 2x6s. Again, you could make them 2x8s to make it easier to attach your bolt. But in this case, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. These two make 4. 5, 6, 7. We're going to say 8 again. Try to be fair. Where am I? I lost my Google sheet. Here we go. 8. Okay. 2x6s, 16 feet, rat seal, mud seal. This is how I do my material list. I put a project use, because if you don't have that column, then, and you're looking at these materials, sometimes you forget the different lengths that you bought of the same material, what they're for. So if you're doing this, if you're planning this for yourself, you always want to have a project use column and just write out notes here. I'm going to use this for this. That way, when you get your big stack of lumber and you go out there and start looking at it, you're not going to be using lumber that you didn't mean to use for that purpose. All right, so the Advantech, going to be easy. Let's turn this on. You'll have zero waste. I got too many layers. One thing about this extension, and it's my fault because I haven't set it up properly, is it gives a layer for everything in the wall system. So that's what all these walls with these underscore, all these are not me. It's not my fault. Sorry. So what you're going to have basically is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sheets. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I was going to say 3 times 5 is 15. Now, if you want to, here's what I do, and this is kind of cheating. I always order a couple of sheets extra. I'm just going to say 16, because you can use them for like, what happened to that? You can use them for like building yourself a job site table to work off of. Set a sheet up on 2 sawhorses, and you got yourself a job site table. And so I would always order extra pieces, a couple of extra, because sometimes they'll get when they're delivered, they'll get damaged or whatever. There's no perfect world. So again, I'm just trying to show as realistic as possible. Okay, so now the next thing we would do after we put our subfloor down is we build our walls, our exterior walls, and those are here. Now we build our exterior walls first, which is kind of obvious, but if you're not a builder, you wouldn't know that necessarily. But so let's start out with the 8-foot walls. Okay, now I'm going to have to count these end walls differently. But the 8-foot walls are basically right here. Okay. So what do we got going on right here? We got some kind of weirdness. I think my extension, I was trying to, I'm a good test for these extensions because I tried to break this wall into 2 pieces. You can see that line there. That wouldn't be there in real life. You'd see just continuous siding. But I tried to break the wall in half and make this half taller. This is the whole point of this roof system is to show that you can do something interesting. You know, you can break the roof up and make it interesting. Really simple way. And a simple way to do that is just alternating these wall heights. And these are standard stud lengths. This is a standard stud right here. Okay. But I'm gonna if I was ordering, material for a whole house, I would consider a stud for every foot. So I would consider 20 studs for this wall. Let's go in and see how close that is. I know this is not right here. I don't know what's going on here. I would have a T right here, but anyway. So I'd have one, let's go say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. You see, the reason we, 21, 22, the reason we allow one per foot just to get started is because you have for your windows and doors and your T's in your walls. So I'm going to say 22. We're going to spin this around, go over here. And 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. And then let's say 42, 43. We'll say 44. I'll say 45. That's being fair. 45. Okay. Now the, wait a minute. Okay. So now I'm going to count, that goes there. The inside studs are 2x4s. No reason to use 2x6s. The reason we would have to use 2x6s in our area for exterior walls is because we have an R19 wall requirement. So you can't get R19 in a 2x4 wall. Even if you're using spray foam, you can't do it. Spray foam, this is what people don't understand about spray foam. You only get about 2.5 R value per inch. See? So it's not as good as what people think it is, and it's expensive. And there's no way, I mean, the cheapest thing to do is just take R19 wall insulation and put it in the walls, fiberglass, and it works just as good. All you're trying to do is get that R value, and it does. It works every day. We do it every day. So interior walls, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. You'll see I'm adding one for blocks. Okay. So that's 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. So we're just going to say 45 again. You don't want to be short. Oh, what about that? What a coincidence. Okay, now we've got these 2x6 104 5/8 studs. Okay. That would be these two taller walls that alternate to give your roof line some interest. And also in your living room, you want to have one wall that you can put furniture on. Okay. You see these people doing these container homes that just put windows everywhere. First of all, windows only have an R value like 1. Okay. So the more glass you put in your home, the less energy efficiency you're going to have. Okay. So what I try to do is, like you'll see here in this bedroom, this one window will provide light, natural light for this bedroom, okay? But what it does is it gives you two walls, if I can get it. It gives you two walls to put a bed on. Because you know women they're not satisfied. If I put my bed here, my wife's going to come in and say, no, I want the bed over here, okay? So that's what that does. You don't want to put windows on every wall. You don't need that much light in a 12 by 12 room. And for natural light, and you're saving energy because you haven't plastered windows everywhere. But the point I was going to make about this little clear story window is, it first of all, it adds interest, it adds character to this wall, but it's above your couch level. I did these in a home, my last house that I built for myself, and they work really cool, and they're also private. You can let natural light in, and there's say there's a whole row of these cool container homes, faux container homes, and your neighbor's living room window is over here, and so they're not looking into your living room anyway. And these windows right here are a bit large too, but I'm trying to be kind of, I'm trying to say, okay, people aren't going to have real tiny windows. Now, I do have this requirement. I have to have a window in a bathroom. I can't stay in bathrooms without windows. So I always put bathrooms where I can get a window in them. And so if you'll see, we did the floor plan in the first video. But anyway, let's count. There should be pretty much the same number of tall 9-foot studs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yeah, I'm going to be about 46. Let's make this 48. Okay, just for the fun. You can see I'm being fair as I go down. 2 by 6 by 16 exterior wall plates. Okay, so this is easy now. This is why drawing your framing makes it easy, especially if you have an extension like Medique, because you can visualize everything. Most architects just draw walls as a solid mass. They'll come out here and draw where's my rectangle, man? There it is. They'll draw a wall looking thing, and then they'll raise it up 9 feet, and that's what you'll see. That's all you'll see. But I like to draw my framing, especially when I get close to the actual design. Or what I'll do sometimes is, if for a customer, I'll draw just masked walls like that, and when they get happy with the floor plans, I'll go back and do the framing plan. But anyway, we usually buy our plate material 16 foot, as 2 by 6s for the exterior walls. So unfortunately, now this is where you can't really go wrong. Well, let's see. Never mind. This whole thing, all these have to be 2 by 6 plates because these exterior walls. Yeah. Oh, you know what I just realized? I left out. You didn't remind me. If this was live, people would be going, no, you left out these studs. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, and then 4 is 12. I'm going to put 8. I'm going to put 8 more long studs. That's 16. So that's 64. And then I'm going to put 16 more short studs. Let's see. Well, the 8-footers won't work anywhere though, will they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that means I'd have to add 20 more. That's a shame. Let's just say that this is 65. No, that'll work. Yeah, I had that close. Yeah, that's right. I'm just going to add, I want to count all of these. I know it sounds like I'm rambling, but I'm trying to get through this as quick as I can. I'm going to count all of these as long studs. Because what's going to happen is it'll be a sloped wall. It'll go from there to there, right? And so the 8-foot stud may work on the end, but that would be the only place. Excuse me. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 11, 12, 24. Yeah, 69. We'll just say 69. I know y'all like that number. Okay, so again, I'm going through this in a hurry. Normally I'd go a little slower. Exterior wall plates. That's where we were. So on the, oops, dang. I just wiped out half the house with my eraser. I've actually done that before and not known it. But we know the house. Here's the easy way to do your. Here's an easy way to do your plate material. Okay, the house is 40 feet long. Okay, so that's 80 feet plus 24 feet because we know that this is 12 feet. So I'll get my trusty calculator here. I've got 80 and 24 is 104. And we know we have to have 3 of them. There's 3 plates, 1 bottom plate, 2 top plates, times 3. So that's 312 divided by 16. You know what? The most efficient use of this material would be 12 footers. It just occurred to me. Yeah, 12 footers would be more efficient. So 312 divided by 12 equals 156. So we're going to get 160. And I'm going to change that. And I'm so confident that, well, that's 4 feet though. I need to look and see. What is that? 11, let's see, that would be 16 divided by 1165. $1.37 a foot times 12. What is it? Where am I? Where am I? Oh. Where am I? $11.65. So it would be 16. Oh, it'd be 11.65. What am I doing? Divided by 16. Yeah, times 12. 873. Okay. So I'm going to change this to 873. And I'm going to change this to 12 foot. Because I know they do. I know they charge by the foot. Because I've been to this before. Okay. There we go. Alright, so 2x10 headers. We'll have, what's that, 6 footer? Let's see. So that's 12. Okay, so 12, a 16 footer will do one window. So that's 2. We got to double them. And then 3, 4, 5. So we're going to have 5 of those plus 3, 4. This is 6, 7. We're going to say 7. I don't know y'all are, I've been doing this for a long time, okay? I can imagine, I just can almost imagine how many I'm going to need. And you're thinking, what was that? What kind of math was that? Well, it's logic. It's kind of common sense math. I know this is a 6 foot window. The headers are 3 inches longer, right? So you kind of figure 7 feet and 3 feet. That's 10 feet. That's a 2 by 10. Okay, so that's 2 right there. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you got your interior. So that's 6. Keep that in your head. So you got, this is a 5 foot, so that's basically 6 foot. These are 3 foot, so they're 4 foot. That's what you do. You don't want to come up short of your headers. So that's 10. So that's 1, 2, 3. So that's 9. So let's make it 9. It was really 8, but I'm going to make it 9. The other thing you can do, and this is why we always order a little extra, you can use a 2x10 for a walkboard if you need one somewhere. So what you're trying not to do, you're trying not to count every single stud. You're trying to make sure you have it covered plus a little waste, plus you're going to have to, you're just going to have extra stuff. Okay. And then OSB. We'll figure the OSB. Let's see. Let's do the 8-foot walls first. So we know we have, go to my trusty calculator. I got 40 feet. Well, that's 10 sheets right there. So let me put in 10. And then these walls are going to take, that's 40, that's, so a sheet, let's see, I get 8 strips. So I got one sheet, 1.5, 3 sheets, and then 4, 5. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, so it's going to be about 30 sheets. Okay. Let me just guess, not guess, but if we went all the way around at 8 feet first, that would be 80, 104 again, 104 divided by 4, 26. Okay, so then I was using, I know I'll have a foot strip left over up here at the top on the 9-foot walls. Okay, and I know it's going to be a little less than, I know a foot will do it because I've done this before. And I know that's 20 feet. So I can get 4 times 8. I can get enough. I can get a sheet. A sheet will go across here. A sheet will go across there. And what I did was I threw in just some extra sheets. Okay, so 30 sheets is enough. 30. Okay, it's a nice round number. Tyvek, one roll. Let's see. Yeah, we're not going to need 100 feet. You might have to get, let's see, 100 feet. Yeah, we're like 104. I got some scrap I can throw in. Let's see. So let's just see where we are. Let's see where we are just for the fun of it. Let's see. Okay, I need to be able to see this. Let's see, this to there. So we're at $4,021 so far. That's basically the cost of your container. Now, so basically, for the cost of your container, you could get all that, all the framing, and that was kind of my original point was that plus the square footage. If you look at the, I'm running out of time here. That's my problem. But I'll do another. If I get enough demand, if people want to see what the total is, I'll do the rafters in the next part. I'll do rafters, decking, sheeting, and siding, just to see what we would have. But as far as the square footage cost, you see the container's only 8 feet, so that's $320. Okay, so if you take 4,000 and divide it by $320, that's $12.5 a square foot. If you take mine, which is 480 square feet, divided by, or you take 4,000 and divide it by 480, so I'm at 833 a square foot. You see, and that's where I'm coming. That's where I'm going to come out ahead. Is that even if my materials cost, I bet you for the square foot cost, I can get this roof done. That's really what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to show you that per square foot, you can get, if you compare the square foot cost of each of these, that you can get the framing, the siding, and the roof itself for the same price as you can get an old rusty bucket. Now, think about this. At this point that I've estimated, okay, I've got framing, floor decking, studs, Tyvek. I'm there. I'm not very far off. Okay, all you've got is this. Okay, you still have to add. Okay, this is my point. You still have to add wall. You still have to add furring for insulation. And if you say you don't, then you're lying. You're cheating. Okay, and you're unless you're ignorant, you're lying, because you can't just take a container and make a house out of it. You have to, by code, you have to have an R13 in the walls, R19 in the floors. The different areas are different on the ceiling, but R38 where we are. And that means you're going to have furring on your walls, which is basically a 2x4. Okay, this is what I started out doing. I started out showing that, and I thought, oh, this is ridiculous. Why would I live in a little tiny? Why would I live in a narrow room that I can't even put a bed in? And we're going to do that. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Okay, I'm going to say it's only a queen size bed. And I know what y'all are saying. Well, we don't need it. What? Really? You don't need a queen size bed? Let's take this one. This one's cool looking. Oh, it's got a lot of stuff in it though. It had a lot of. I think what I'm going to do is get rid of it after I. Okay, so let's say you can't even turn a queen size bed. That was supposed to be 90 degrees. So let's say one end of this is your bedroom. Okay, there you go. Can you walk around your bed? No. And this is what's funny about this is why I have this floor plan in here. They they say storage bed. Well, look, the bedroom takes up almost the whole room, and that's what it basically does. You can't live like this, people. Okay, let's take that same bed and move it over here into the bedroom that I have provided for you. Okay. Now, what I would do is I would rotate it so it's this way, because when you walk into the room, it's not going to feel like it's breaking up the room as much. Okay. Now, look what you can do in here. A room. Now, what did I do? I got it. Oh, it's buried in the floor. Now, what can you do here? You got room to put chest of drawers, your gun cabinet over here. You can hang your deer head on the wall. Look at all the stuff you can do in this room. Okay, that's why you have to have 12 feet width. You can't. It's just silly to think that you can live in a little sardine can like that. I'm going to undo this bed because I don't want all that crap in my drawing. So that's the point. So I'm gonna stop here for part 2, and then we'll talk about this porch. I'll just give you kind of a preview of the next. You've already seen this, but what I was trying to do is come up with a cool roof. And here's what's ironic, okay? If you want to listen to some Alanis Morissette songs while you're thinking about this, you would most likely have to build a roof over your storage container anyway. I don't know how many. The whole thing that started this was one of my customers asked me to do a shipping container house with a roof over it. Now, actually, the one that I did that you all have seen was for the military, and it was for storage, okay? And that was my point. That people keep saying, well, why have you got videos putting a roof over? That was for storage. I had an active duty friend who they were in Africa, and all they had was 2x6s for rafters, and he wanted me to help him come up with a design for the roof for it, and that's what I did. In no way implying that I assumed they would be used for living conditions. And as a matter of fact, several people have asked me to sell them those drawings, and I won't, because the roof pitch is really low, and it's designed for a specific purpose. I design every project for a specific site. If you asked me to help you with this project right here, I wouldn't even start altering this one until you gave me an idea of what your site was like. Okay. Now, hopefully, you could get your site that's not as steep as this one. This one slopes about 8 feet on 50 or 60 feet. This whole length right here. I think this is like 5 feet off the ground, maybe. I don't think it's that tall. Oh, it's only 4 feet. That's not bad. So, but again, you would have to, the code requires at least 2 feet of clearance on this low end back here. You can't just put your joists right on the ground. You have to have at least 2 feet. I think you can get about 18 inches, but we always use 2 feet because you also need to be able to crawl under there and do your insulation work and all that stuff. And on this, what we would do is we would put like I don't know if you've seen the vinyl ceiling material, vinyl soffit and ceiling. After we put our insulation into here, we would use like vented vinyl soffit material to cover up, to give us some critters, because the raccoons and squirrels are going to come and get your insulation and take it out in the woods and use it for their houses because they're smart. And so anyway, I'm going to cut this off right here, but just to kind of review where we are now. You saw me count studs, count joists, count decking, and I was even throwing in extras of each of these just to make sure we were covered. And I think you're starting to see the point here. The point is that you're better off building if you want a shipping container home, you're better off building something that looks like a shipping container if that's what you want, and then making it wider so you can live in it, and then have some interesting other features like a porch. Roof is still easy. These are just 24-foot 2x8 rafters. I'll show you all that in the next video. So what I'm going to do here is cut this off, and then people who want to leave comments, nice comments. I've already had to turn comments off on one video because of the fanboys coming after me from another big YouTuber who these big YouTubers are really kind of frustrating because they won't say anything about, I had this trouble with April Wilkerson. I actually ended up talking with her through email, and she didn't realize that her fanboys were kind of trolling me, and I'm not sure why. I guess they just finally gave up. But I'm getting trolled pretty good right now by the Andrew Camerati fanboys, and I don't understand this mentality really where people feel like they have to defend. If Andrew wants to defend what he's doing, he can defend what he's doing, or he can it's not really defend. We can talk about it, but it's kind of silly overall. But anyway, I didn't really mean to get into that. I want to keep this kind of a positive, upbeat experience where if you want a home similar to a shipping container, you can build one very easily and cheap, and you won't have the problems associated with. And then in the next video, it may take 2 or 3 videos, I'm going to show you how windows are installed with the Tyvek and the tape, and show you that the reason we do things in sequence is because of how we install windows and doors, okay, and how we build structures. It's a sequence, okay. That's the sequence of construction is just as important as anything else. The design of it, the materials you use, it's the way it is. So when you buy a shipping container, you're starting at a point in the project that's not typical, and that's why it costs more. The other thing is I'm not even accounting for the labor that you're going to have to deal with to renovate this container. Cutting holes in it for windows, reinforcing the roof, all that stuff, making sure it's not going to be a big squeaky leaky box on your head. Anyway, I'm having a hard time ending this video, so I'm going to go ahead and end it. But leave your comments, and we'll go from there. Thanks, guys.